Chattisfying.
So essentially, you've decided that you'd rather pick because you want to ensure that you're going to play a game that you're definitely going to like.
Yeah, but maybe I'll bring back voting at some point. I need to work it out. I need to have a think. I do think that I'm going to pick things based on a criteria of what works on Twitch. As much as there are some games that I think that I would enjoy playing, like it's quite difficult because you want to have a environment where you bring in new people and you bring in, like you let Twitch do a little bit of advertising for you. And if you're streaming in a category that no one ever browses, even if I find that a particularly interesting game, like that's a difficult one, like you want to be in a position where you end up on people's homepage because you're playing a game that people follow, or you're playing in a category that people browse. So yeah, I mean, like I've got to kind of balance all these decisions, but also not be so in the headspace of analytics or the headspace of game choice that I find it not enjoyable. I want to make sure I enjoy streaming. So
Yes, absolutely.
I kind of beg to differ on that one, though, in
Mhm.
terms of previous experience. So I don't know if you know the game Virtue, but I know Mellar does. But we were quite fond of a game called Freelancer.
Yeah.
It's a space game from like 2002, 2003, some of that Microsoft game. It was big for me. It was my first like MMO, but only had a 50 player cap in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my thing. But it was great. I streamed it last year, and it was a dead game. No one's playing it. No one's on Twitch, stuff like that. It has a very small community, still trying to keep it up with private servers and all that kind of stuff. And I went on stream with it, and I thought, I'm just going to play because I love the story. It's fantastic. And I went up, I think it was about 60% increase in my viewership that night because people were like, someone's streaming Freelancer. And I got a lot of nostalgia people come through, and I got
those
dared
people
to do
probably
speed running and all
follow it.
sorts. Yeah, but like I still have a few of them to this day that still come back because they appreciated that I played something that no one streams. Which
True enough.
It's kind of more like a culty game. Yeah.
To be fair though, I do think that is definitely an exception that proves
It's definitely exception rule, but I don't know. I mean, you think of how, like, for example, how retro games are all the way nowadays and stuff like that. There are so many old games that are, like, for example, if I had the opportunity to play Lost Vikings again back in the old days before Blizzard mentioned it, I'm pretty sure there'll be people still willing to watch it because it's such a blast game for people. It's a nostalgia vibe.
Yeah.
And not many people of a couple of generations now will know what Lost Vikings is.
But that's why there's the retro category.
Yes.
And the retro category is one that's like people will browse. Like it doesn't matter your viewership in the retro category. It doesn't matter if you're at the bottom of the list or the top of the list, because people are going to the retro category to find a blast from the past. They're looking for a thumbnail or a game description that looks like a thing that they might remember fondly. They might be like, oh, I played this on the Mega Drive as a kid or what have you. So that's a different category. When you move into like a nostalgia audience, then you can hit people on, like I don't like to talk about people in like terms of demographics, but you can like hit a certain demographic there. Like there are streamers that do retro as their niche. They do you like turtles? I like turtles. Sorry, I don't mean to just talk to chat. But yeah, there are niches in that particular way. So that's different.
I just feel like, and it wouldn't work with newer games is the thing, I guess, would be the key thing. Newer games are difficult if they're not well marketed via Steam or Humble Bundles or anything like that, really, out there, IGN, whatever, then they will completely fall on their ass. But I still think you can still play some. It doesn't have to be necessarily older games or retro. There's still stuff that from like 7-8 years ago that people have completely forgotten about that were fantastic. You can still just enjoy it, and it will still bring people in. I don't think you should be, especially with how big Twitch is now. It is continuously growing larger and larger by the day. That there's less fear of being not found from any game, I feel, unless it's like a right indie game that's you're privately testing for a developer of 2.
Sure, but maybe my point makes more sense on kind of the inverse of that. It's harder to get new people find you if you're say a Call of Duty streamer in the place where like, you know, people are gonna have to scroll a long time to be able to see you. Like if you're a small streamer, like some people might invert the viewer list and look for people with less views and kind of go up the list. And you know, like you may be also a streamer that is almost in the higher, like say you've got like 60 views of Call of Duty, there's still going to be only a certain amount of people that scroll down that list to find you. Is kind of what I'm saying. So yeah, in like a category where you know, there may be no other streamers but a few followers, it kind of it stands to reason that some of those people that follow it might see it. But it's different. I don't know. I don't think you can just play anything and expect people to find you. And I think that some categories are so popular that you get buried as a smaller streamer. So
I got you.
So
Chattisfying